As featured in the last episode, Neville Goddard said that there is one feeling which you must master if you want to be able to create your reality. And this one feeling is so powerful, yet most people ignore it. So if you have not watched the last video yet, then I would recommend you to watch that first. This data is stored in the form of memories. Now, these memories are nothing but chemical imprints in the neurons of our brain. Whenever we recall a memory, we relive the same state of consciousness we were in when that memory was created. This is why sometimes when we meet a stranger and we feel a deep connection with them, we might say that we have met them before, even though we know that we have not. In that movie, there was a character named Cobb, who had shared many layers of his subconsciousness with other characters. But at transition into another state of consciousness, death is nothing but a doorway to infinite possibilities. Now, some people may call this state of consciousness heaven, while others may call it hell. But coming back to Neville's teachings, he said that when a person dies, they usually do not go to heaven or hell, but rather to the astral plane. This astral plane is like a dream world where people's souls wander until they are reborn into a new body. However, some people are able to remain conscious even after reaching the astral plane. It is on this astral plane where people experience things like déjà vu, because it is filled with all kinds of memories and experiences. When you do this, you create negative memories that get stored in your subconscious mind. So death is not something to be feared. Instead, we should embrace it as an opportunity to explore the infinite possibilities that exist in the universe. And when you die, these negative memories will haunt you on the astral plane. This is why some people experience fear, anxiety, and sadness even after death. Now, here's what Neville says about the one feeling. Once you have mastered the one feeling, you can use it to create whatever you want in your life. But remember, you must practice this technique daily, because the one feeling is like a muscle that needs to be exercised. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. But in reality, it is just a reflection of the kind of thoughts and feelings you have stored in your mind. Start practicing the one feeling today and see how it transforms your life. Thank you for watching. But some people are able to retain their consciousness on the astral plane, and therefore they remember their past lives. And the best way to do this is by practicing the one feeling every day. This is why Neville said that if you want to create your reality, then you must master the art of feeling the feeling. For example, there are many cases of children who are born with the memories of their past lives. This is why Neville said that if you want to create your reality, then you must master the one feeling. And here is the catch. You can only master the one feeling while you are alive, because once you die, you cannot change the memories you have stored in your mind. This is why it is crucial to work on your thoughts and feelings while you are alive, because death is always near. None of us knows how long we are going to live. We could die the next moment, and therefore it is important to make the most of the time we have right now. These memories are not just stories they have heard somewhere, but are actual experiences from their past lives. If you have mostly stored positive thoughts and feelings in your mind, then you will find yourself in a peaceful state after death. Well, Neville says that the answer lies in the concept of the one feeling. Now, we have already discussed in the last video that the one feeling is a term used by Neville Goddard to describe the feeling of already having achieved your desire. This feeling is the most important aspect of the law of attraction, because it is the bridge between the third-dimensional world and the fourth-dimensional world. The third dimension is the world we live in, where we can see, hear, and touch things. But the fourth dimension is the world of imagination, where anything is possible. On the other hand, if you have stored negative thoughts and feelings, then you will feel tormented and regretful. And when he died in the first layer of the dream, he found himself in another world, which contained all his suppressed memories. In reality, when a person dies, their soul enters the same collective consciousness, where they find themselves connected with every other person who has ever lived on Earth. In reality, we have stored a similar memory in our subconscious mind from our past experiences. And now when we meet someone who matches the energy of that memory, we feel connected to them. Have you ever heard of the case of a woman named Anita Moore? According to her story, she was suffering from cancer and went into a coma for 7 days. During her coma, she experienced something extraordinary. She left her body and found herself in a tunnel of white light. As she moved further into the tunnel, she saw a beautiful garden full of flowers and trees. She also saw her own funeral, where her family and friends were crying. But she felt no sadness. Instead, she felt a sense of peace and love. After spending some time in the garden, she heard a voice that told her to go back to her body. When she opened her eyes, she realized that she had been in a coma for 7 days, and doctors had given up hope of her survival. But somehow she was able to make a full recovery. Anita believes that this experience taught her the true meaning of life and death. She realized that death is not the end, but just a transition into another state of consciousness. But if you've already watched it, then let us begin. So today, let's look into what this feeling is and how we can use it to improve our lives. Now, before we begin, I just want to say that this video will contain some spoilers for the previous episode. This means that all the memories you have stored in your brain are still present. Well, according to Neville, it is stored in the collective consciousness of humanity. Here is what he says. All the states which you have ever been in are outside of you. They are in the world around you. They are in the Akashic records. You are surrounded by all the states which you have ever been in. There is no such thing as a new state. Every state is as old as humanity. So when a person dies, all their memories are uploaded into the collective consciousness, which is basically a storage of all the information that has ever happened in the universe. This is why people who have near-death experiences often talk about their life flashing before their eyes. They are recalling all the memories they have stored in their brain while living. So when a person dies, they do not take any memories with them, as everything that a person has ever experienced is stored outside of their brain. In the previous episode, we saw that the human brain works like a computer, which has the ability to store an unlimited amount of data. Now, what happens when you die? Your physical body dies, but your consciousness remains. So the question arises, where is this data stored? If you have heard of the movie Inception, this is exactly how it works. And here is the interesting part. When you understand this concept, you realize that death is nothing. Now you may think that this is just a fairy tale, but the fact is that many people have shared similar experiences after they have had near-death experiences. If you want to read more about her story, then you can find it online. And here is the catch. The majority of the population is not conscious of its presence on the astral plane. This is why most people forget their past lives. But here is the million-dollar question. How can we become conscious on the astral plane after death? The only way to enter the fourth dimension is by mastering the art of feeling the feeling. But here is the problem. Most people waste their time by thinking negative thoughts and feeling negative emotions. On the other hand, if you think positive thoughts and feel positive emotions, then you create positive memories that will take you to the astral plane, where you will find peace and happiness. In order to do this, we must learn to control our thoughts and feelings while we are alive. By the way, do you not forget to show some love and hit like to receive a daily reminder about the law of attraction? So don't wait any longer.